is during the interview process is ensuring that the candidates, the agents, understand what a day in the life looks like, right? Because if you set that expectation from the beginning, then once you're in the training class and you're, onboarding them, that really, they already understand what the role is all about.
So, in thinking about it, obviously one of the aspects that's hitting everybody right now, a year and a half-ish after the pandemic started, is recruiting and filling seats for campaigns, which I know that's one of the things that, has benefited Transparent is being in other countries, being able to pull in those resources. So not looking at the recruiting so much, but the onboarding. What have you done and put in place, or you see as like really successful onboarding that you guys have been able to do at scale? Because that's one thing where onboarding and then training, a lot of companies just aren't building a scalable machine, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't want to completely leave out the screening process or the interview process, because I think that there's just a couple of elements there that are really impactful to the remainder, right? To the onboarding process. And there's just two things that I think recently set us apart, right? Ensuring that you choose the right candidates, right? So we do some really great skills testing, personality testing, right? And that helps us figure out, where's this person going to be most successful? Are they going to be more successful on the sales side or the service side? So I don't want to shortchange that because that really helps in the onboarding process. And then I think that the other step that we take is during the interview process, is ensuring that the candidates, the agents, understand what a day in the life looks like, right? Because if you set that expectation from the beginning, then once you're in the training class and you're, onboarding them, that really, they already understand what the role is all about. The last thing that you want is you go through 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks of training, and during the nesting phase, they raise their hand and say, this isn't for me, right? So we try to get that out of the way as best we can. But then in the onboarding process, we've got several different phases to training. We've got our phase 1 training, and that's a week-long training class. I know BPOs that don't take quite as long, but we place a lot of value in phase 1 training. That's where they really learn everything about Transparent BPO. They really get immersed in our culture and our values. And that's really important to us, because I'm sure you've probably heard it on Scott's session perhaps, but our core values really are our guiding principle, whether you're a brand new employee at the agent level or management. So we get them through the phase 1 training, and then we go into phase 2, which is our client training. We love to partner with our clients. So, for new initiatives where we're implementing with a new client, we really rely on the client resources, right? We want them to have thorough train the trainers. We welcome them, to our sites to come train, to participate with us. Maybe they'll train and we'll observe, and then we'll train and they'll observe, right? There's lots of different ways to do it. Enter the pandemic, we couldn't do a lot of that. So we've even done some virtual training. So that's phase 2. We'll train clients program. Often our clients come to us with a well-prepared training program, a training curriculum on their LMS. We often look at it, take a review through it to make sure that, especially if they haven't outsourced or if they haven't gone outside of the US, right? We take a look at that and offer any suggestions just to make sure that it applies really to the agents and believes, right? And sometimes we'll do some pre-training. If it's a service or a product that maybe our agent base isn't quite familiar with, we'll take the time before the program training to get our agents acclimated, a little bit of a culturization training. So that's phase 2. And then phase 3 is when they go live, right? And they do that in a nesting environment. We have higher ratioed team lead support for our agents in the nesting phase. And that's really just to help them get their feet wet, get the marbles out of their mouth, and really get accustomed to the environment. And then eventually they move on to full production.